Have you ever felt like you had to fix things for someone else, even when you were already running on empty? Welcome back to the Broken to Braid podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about a pattern that so many high achieving, big hearted women fall into, even if they don't realize it. And it's one that I fell into myself for the vast majority of my life, and it still happens from time to time. And it is the habit of trying to rescue people from their own emotions, not because you don't trust them, but because you don't trust what you feel if they are upset. That's what's under the surface. And this is a nervous system survival strategy in disguise. And today I'm going to talk about it, help you understand it, and help you learn how to notice it before it takes over again. Last week, during a What the F with Dr. Steph group coaching session, a client said something that really stayed with me. And it's probably because I have seen it with so many women, including myself. She noticed that she kept saying she was fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. When she was being honest with herself, in reality, she was on the edge of spiraling. As she was looking around at her life, there was a lot going on. And a lot of it were things that she didn't want to be happening for other people. Now, when I explored more with her, she realized that she didn't want other people in her life to feel bad. She started doing everything she could to help them avoid feeling bad or feeling pain. Can you relate to that? It could mean a number of things. It could look like softening the truth in order to protect somebody's feelings. It could look like overgiving when someone is struggling. It could look like trying to get them to focus on the positive or rushing in to fix something so that they don't have to feel uncomfortable, anything like that. Obviously, all of those things sound kind. They look kind, they feel generous, but they're often rooted in fear. Because when we rescue people from their own emotions, we are usually avoiding our own. So here's what I told her. Well, there's a whole lot that we went through that I'm not going to cover all in this episode, but here's the gist of what we went through. You're not just trying to help, you're trying to protect them from something that they might actually need to feel. And then I continued to share that life gives us lessons through hardships. I want you to think about yourself and think about others who you've witnessed transform right in front of your eyes. Did that happen when all was going good? No, probably not the vast majority of the time. People make life altering shifts within themselves when there's hardship. And we don't get to choose which moments someone else needs for their growth. It can be tempting to feel like, well, they don't need to experience that in order to make changes to be the version of themselves that they want to, but we don't know. When we try to cushion, all of the falls and we try to protect them from feeling things, we might actually, and often are, robbing them of the moment that could build their resilience, shift their beliefs, and quite literally change their life for the better. And so I know that if you resonate with this, you think that you're helping, but we're interrupting. You might have been doing it because you want to be kind. And I get that. I resonate with it. But there's consequences for you and for others when you try to save them from experiencing their life. Now, as I was going through this with my client, she did really seem to get it. She was like, wow, yeah, I can understand the impact on their growth. And she was also noticing how she was creating more overwhelm in her life by trying to save them from their own. So then she asked me, okay, well, how do I notice this sooner? And I think that's a great question. Curiosity is your best friend in healing. Healing happens when we interrupt that pattern sooner. So I turned the question right back at her and I asked, okay, let's just take a couple seconds, pause, reflect. What are the signs for you when you're starting to fall into this? If we rewind just a few days or a few weeks, what shifts do you notice? And she got quiet for a minute, reflected, and then she was able to list 4 things. She said, I stopped doing the things that make me feel good. I isolate. I want to sleep all the time. And I eat my feelings. Now, she didn't realize that in the moment, but her nervous system was trying to tell her long before her mind caught on. And that's what healing is, learning to listen sooner. Your body always knows before your brain does. And the more that you slow down and notice that, the more simple it's going to be to make the shifts that you want to. I'll just share a few other signs. Other signs could be tightness in your chest when somebody else is struggling, or a sudden urgency to fix or to make it okay, or even a wave of guilt if you don't help. Other people's emotions are not yours to regulate. And you can, I promise you can care without carrying it. I've asked my clients that question in these group coaching sessions. Does it feel like I care about you? And unanimously, yes, they quite literally can feel my care and my love. But the vast majority of the time, I won't say I'm completely, above this because it does happen where sometimes I do carry their stuff. But the vast majority of the time, I'm not carrying it. I'm sitting there with them. I'm allowing them to feel supported without saving them from it. And when they witness me doing that with them, they see, okay, I see how this could be possible for me too. Okay, you can support without saving people. You can hold space without taking it on as your own. And if there's this little voice in you thinking, but what if I don't help and they fall apart? Let's be real. That's fear talking. There's always going to be that voice like, but what if, right? And it's highly unlikely when you look at your entire life, what you fear almost never happens. And then if it does, you handled it. You got through it. It was fine. The other person handled it. They got through it. So let's just say that it does happen. Falling apart may be the very thing that they need to quite literally shift the trajectory of their entire life. And I'll just share that. I've seen this in my clients and from my own experience. If I rewind back to 3 years leading up to when I chose to dive into deep healing, those were some very emotional, painful phases of my life. At the time, my fiance, not who my husband is now, but my fiance at the time, cheated on me and got someone else pregnant. And my best friend at the time ostracized me from our overlapping friend group and quite literally never spoke to me again. Obviously, more to both of those stories, but they were very painful for me emotionally. And that pain resulted in me opening my heart, opening my mind, opening my soul in a way that I hadn't before so that I could experience deep healing that has changed me for the better in so many ways and now changed thousands of other people's lives. Who would I be without those experiences? Not the same woman I am today. Every time you let somebody have their own emotional experience, you're trusting them. You're honoring their timeline and you're saying, I believe in your ability to move through this. I'm here, but I'm not going to take it from you. And when you do that, you trust yourself too. Because in the past, rescuing them might have felt like safety, but true connection happens when both people stay in their own bodies and take care of themselves. Obviously, you can support, but not taking it on. That's what I'm talking about. Can you relate to this? There is a way for you to do this. What I want you to do today, if you're resonating with this, is start with a few journaling questions. Number one, what are my signs that I'm starting to rescue someone? Number two, what am I afraid is going to happen if they feel their full emotion? What might they learn or discover if I trust them to hold it? And how can I offer support without overstepping my own needs? As you're journaling that out, if your mind goes blank or you feel like, I don't know, like what should I be thinking here? What am I missing? You don't have to know all the answers right away. I want you to find comfort in the fact that when you ask your mind a good question, it will give you a good answer. Get curious and allow yourself to just write without filtering yourself. They've got this, you've got this. And if that doesn't feel like the case, you know where to find deeper support from me. I'll see you next Tuesday.